Hello, hello.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I can hear. Okay, now I can participate, I guess. I can't turn on my camera. I don't think that's an option yet.
Yeah, it's a much simpler menu.
What does the just transfer to meeting room? Is that? Oh, join as a panelist. Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay. Well, this makes sense. Now this is something that can be shared with
Cool. Okay, let's see if I can share video. Okay. Oops. Cool. And then Jason, are you on the other end?
Okay, Jack Elwood, Vice Chair of Sustainability Task Force.
Okay, I'm Geraldine Young. I am the alternate of the task force.
Folks, we have one task force member on our Zoom call this evening. And can you say your name? The roll call.
Robert Downs, Task Force Secretary here.
And my name's Jason Scott. I serve as a staff liaison. I'm a non-voting member of the task force. Okay, I think appointments, resignations. I haven't gotten any information about any new appointments or resignations, but we did get a volunteer application submitted through our town website recently, back in November. So Lisa Dunnery is a resident of town, and she has some sustainability experience and is really interested in getting involved with our task force. So with luck, we could get her appointed, because we do have a vacancy. So I'm not sure if that's what the plan is, but we do have her application, and that's been passed on to the council, I believe. So
Okay, great.
hello.
How you doing?
How are you?
See ya.
And we do have a member of the public here. I don't know if we can go to the public
Want
comment.
to state your name with,
Bhaskar Pandya.
okay, Bhaskar. Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to number 5, actions taken, minutes for approval.
I had a chance to read over. If it's okay with the task force, I'd like to add one more set of minutes to our list. We have 3, kind of a backlog. I'd also like to add the minutes for the last meeting that we had, which was the 27th of October. So if it's okay, I'd like to see if we could get a vote to add those minutes to this agenda item as well. Is it possible we could have somebody?
I'll make a motion to add
As
those.
vice chair, I don't think you're allowed
You
to
can,
do that.
okay.
I make a motion to accept it.
And do we have anyone second it?
I can second it.
I'll second. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't know.
Okay. Robert Downs, our secretary, was nice enough to get these updated for us and sent them in. So I've read them over myself. I think they're ready to go. So if we could get a vote, I'd like to vote for approval of all 4 meeting dates: June 30th, August 25th, September 29th, and October 27th of this year. Can I get that motion, please?
I make a motion to pass the 4 minutes.
Second.
Seconded.
Minutes are approved then.
Or we have to, I guess, should we just do a voice vote just to make it official?
Number 6 is report from the task force chair.
Normally, Aretha Nagabandi, our task force chair, would be providing this update for us. She was going to discuss having a more regular meeting with the town council, keeping them
Okay, yeah.
updated about our activities, as well as trying to make sure that we keep sustainability as something that they would have in their thoughts as they proceed through
Okay.
their work each year.
So I guess we'll keep that in mind, I guess.
Yeah, she had hoped to do something maybe quarterly or at least twice a year.
I think we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of like the semi-annual a little bit better.
But I haven't had a chance to speak with her since then, so I
Okay.
don't know if she's already made a request for an upcoming meeting. I haven't checked the latest agenda, so I'm not sure if that's already on the agenda, but if she asks for it, I'll make sure to pass that information along so we can get added to one of their next meetings.
Okay. And B is the silver certification, which we got.
Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, yeah, they had a presentation. Haritha was able to make it down for that.
Okay, the
Which was
one
good.
in,
October, I think.
yeah, October.
Yep, and I wasn't able to attend, unfortunately, but Mayor Murata, kind of one of her last times that I saw her, actually, before the election, she stopped by my office and dropped off.
Of the packet?
Yeah, it's like, a couple of
okay.
packets and a nice packet created by Sustainable CT, kind of summarizing our work in Rocky Hill and what we've done, which is nice. It's nice to have that done. Looks very professional. And then also
I think Carrie Wood was there too.
Yeah,
Aretha.
I saw the
I saw the
pictures.
pictures,
The
yeah.
media.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really nice. Yeah, and we also have the certificate in the town hall at Senior Center, as soon as you go in the door there, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So-
Thank you for posting that.
Yeah.
That was you that put that.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll move on to discussion of old business number 7. Action 10.1, encourage an equitable and just system, Rocky Hill Community Farm updates.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah, probably, let's say about a week ago, another staff member in our office, Dave Palmberg, he's our surveyor, he and I went out and started some of the surveying that we needed to figure out how much space we had available
Okay.
in the area that's been tilled for planting for the community garden. So we took a couple of surveying shots so we could establish how much space is available there and the general shape of it as it stands now, as it's been tilled. And then he's working on a layout to figure out exactly how many plots we can fit in that
Okay,
available space
good.
that's already done. And hopefully we can get started on that in the spring. I have to talk to my boss and see if he's heard anything about what the timeline is going to be, about when they're going to open that up for people to reserve spaces. But I imagine that's something they'd like to get up and running as quick as possible.
yeah, because we'll be in January.
Right, but first we need to finish that layout so we know how much we have available to have people be able to lease. And then, from there, hopefully we can do the last few little things we have to get done. We still don't have water on the site, and
Okay.
we're setting a utility pole so that we can run power into the barn. And then, they want to put a bathroom in the barn too, ADA accessible bathroom. So those will be good things, but those work that still needs to be done.
How would that work in the barn? Would somebody have to be there at certain times of the day to let people in if they have something going on?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not sure. I think once we get the facilities installed, it'll be up to the Parks Department to be
Yeah.
running all of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we're going to put an external door on the bathroom so that that can be unlocked and available at certain times, and the rest of the barn be locked off. I don't know. I don't believe, as far as I know, there's only one. There's one overhead door entrance, and then there's one, standard like 30-inch opening door entrance. And at this point, I don't think there's anything framed out for an additional door, but that could be done. It's not impossible to do by any means. But I'm not sure what the plan is for that. And it's a good point to bring up, actually,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
how will that work? And at this point, I don't think there's anything in the barn. But, as time goes on, if there's,
Yeah.
educational materials or whatever that might be
Right.
there on site, they may want to make sure that's more secure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good question.
And I think Councilman Whalen actually tilled it,
Yes, he did. That's great.
which is great.
Yeah. And I'm certainly not a farmer, so I don't know if it has to be tilled again to add any additional material.
Yeah.
Like compost and
That's
things like
down
that
the
in
road a
spring.
little
So
bit.
I would imagine that might be more as we get closer to spring. At this
Yeah.
point, ground's frozen. But
Okay.
yeah, that's all I have for updates there at this point. But
Okay, let's move on to action 9.5, number B, promote waste reduction and reuse. The SMMR2 grant for expansion for food waste collection sites.
so I've been hunting around for information on the internet, trying to find if this grant has been awarded yet.
Actually, I did a little bit of work on it.
Yeah.
So I contacted Mona, and we didn't get the grant
Oh,
for
no.
this year. But I believe we're going to be trying for next year, though, so.
So this would be to expand our collection points for
Yeah.
food waste collection. That way it can be brought to a composting facility instead of getting landfilled.
I'm also, on that note for the SSR, I wrote Mona on the food waste, smaller bins that you could bring down to the town too. So and Ray too, I also sent him an email also on that too. So just seeing if we get a little bit of action on that, so.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So we'll see where that goes, but that'll be in addition to what we already have, with the trash at food waste at the transfer station. Okay, that's about it for B, so let's go to C, promote waste reduction and reuse, recycling awareness presentation at the Cora Belden Library.
Yeah.
Yes. Jason, you want to talk about that?
Yeah,
You're
so-
the key player on that?
Yeah, so this was the second presentation we've done this year. I took the first presentation that I did last summer from the senior center, and I reworked it for a younger audience. I was looking for kids to be able to come in and educate them a little bit, and hopefully have some good information that they can take from that and bring home to their families. And it was great. We had about 8 people come, and we awarded some prizes for some simple quizzes and to keep the interest of the kids. And I think we were able to pull that off. I think they had a good time, and I had enough prizes for everybody.
You sure did.
Yeah, so that was good. We had one visitor who was definitely a little bit scared, and I think him winning the first prize kind of softened the blow. And he was in good shape after that. I think he had a good
I
time.
think that fire ranger game was great.
Uh-huh.
That's like a Christmas present for him.
Yeah, his eyes lit right up. And it was good. It's something I think would be a great idea if we can do this at least once a year. I think that over time I'm going to get to become a better speaker, and I'll kind of tool it better so that it's more efficient, smoother, maybe more interesting, maybe a little bit more fun. It'd be great if we could get some funding maybe someday for some additional prizes. Ideally, I'd like to make it so that we could have like a quiz that's, seems more like a quiz game, but, it's a chance for them to kind of actively recall some of the things that we're learning about in the presentation. But I'd have to shorten up the presentation a little bit for that, to have room for that. But we're able to do it, and the library was a great space for it. And, after speaking with some of the parents that came with their kids, we had at least one person who was really interested in trying food waste composting at home, which I think is a great opportunity for that. That's by far the best thing we can do in terms of diverting food waste, is be able to reuse it on site and not have to use any sort of fueled vehicle to haul it from your site and take it somewhere else. So it's zero carbon footprint, which is definitely the way to go. So, even if it's just a few people at a time, if we can make them aware of some of the issues that Connecticut has in terms of landfill capacity and ways that we might be able to do better with the way we recycle, so that we're not wasting that recycled material by contaminating it, and making it so that it's easy for families to be able to divert food waste if they'd like to, then I think we can make a difference. So.
I'd just like to add, I thought Jason did a great job on it. I think everybody was entertained, especially the presentation you had. I think it was just pretty good timing too. I think 45 minutes. That was good. That was great.
Yeah, I don't think I could have. I think I would have lost him if I did any more than that, especially at that time of night.
Yeah.
6:30, 7 o'clock at night. Yeah.
What, just thinking, what if can we do this at like school? Get schools involved, and we have, at schools, I have 2 daughters, right? So they have guest speakers come in, there's like books, the writers come in to read their books, and, I think this is something that we need to educate the kids, and then especially the ones that are in middle school or even high school, and then if we have something for them to bring home, then parents also can get engaged.
Mm.
So I think that would be it. If we need to, I can take the lead on that if needed.
Sure. I think if there's room in the curriculum for us to do something, I think that'd be great. The first presentation we did, we had the benefit of having our highway superintendent there. He's in charge of our waste collection, so he knows the ins and outs of the industry. He knows the people. He knows our contracts, and he has a lot of experience with it. He maintains our transfer station too, so he knows what Rocky Hill's capabilities are. He knows where we can do better, and he's far more entertaining than I am for public speaking too. So I think I think you get him in front of a crowd, and I think people will be mesmerized.
Yeah, that was great because the first one was for adults, and I think there's a lot of interest in the town to actually do something like that too. But I really like the idea of maybe presenting it to middle school or grammar school.
Because
if you can get in there, I think that's something I
even
think.
if you get like 5-10% of kids that would adopt to that, imagine the change that we could make.
Yeah, I think the hard part of that is just getting your foot in the door.
Yeah, I mean that's something that we have to work with the Board of Ed and.
I work with recycling into the high school now. It's hard to get in there, so but that's working pretty good too.
I think that'd be a great idea. I can put you in touch with the assistant superintendent for curriculum and see if she has some information about that. But I think that'd be great. Yeah, I'd be happy to help any way I could there. That'd be great. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, that's it for that. Let's go to D, action 6.1, implement complete streets and sidewalk projects, Silas Dean corridor, and ferry upgrades. I believe that's all Jason's also.
We did do 2 sidewalk projects this year. We built a sidewalk along the west side of Washington Street, and then we stopped short of intersecting with Glastonbury Avenue at the bottom of the hill. So anyone that walks on that sidewalk, you're going to see a dead end. Reason being is that we do have state funding to do a sidewalk on Glastonbury Avenue, and I'll make that connection as part of that project. We also did a sidewalk project on half of Century Hills Drive. Originally, we had intended on having the sidewalk run along the outside of the circle, so this would be the same side of the road as where Concierge is, and I can't remember.
Glenbrook?
What's that?
Glenbrook Park?
And the side of the road that you used to live on. But we did run into some utility conflicts, so I did have to switch to the other side of the road for a portion of it. But we were able to get all the sidewalk, concrete sidewalk installed and all the curb repairs done. And then we backed up everything with topsoil, but because it's so late in the year, we can't get any grass to grow at this point. So we're in a winter shutdown now on that project. In the spring, things warm up, contractor will come back, they're gonna have to add more topsoil in places where it gets trampled down, and add some more grass seed. It's the same thing with the Washington Street project. We did have some grass seed coming up at the end of the season, because that one we finished up right before Halloween. So there is some grass there, but it's not fully established yet, so they're gonna have to come back and reseed and take care of a few little issues there. And then with hopefully some state funding, we can do some more projects next year. We'd like to do Glastonbury Avenue, like I said. We'd like to do a sidewalk there that will connect Washington Street up to Old Main Street, and then hopefully connect to a future project that's already been approved. I think I had talked about that last time. And then we have a sidewalk gap on Elm Street near the Rose Hill Cemetery. We'd like to do that next year, and then hopefully the other half of Century Hills Drive. I'm also next week starting to put together a grant for another sidewalk project, which would be out near France Street, New Road near Stratska Farm. Yeah. Kind of filling in a gap there and being able to connect France Street up to Hayes Road and Trinity Ridge via New Road. So that's something we'll put some plans together. We'll put some numbers to it. We'll submit for an application.
How about Friend Street between Winding Brook Drive and Sunset?
That's another issue.
Very
Yeah.
dangerous
That-
place for people to have to walk.
Yes, I
You
agree.
know?
And we have multiple areas that we have a real interest in putting in sidewalk, and that was definitely something that came
Good.
up in our conversations.
Good, yeah.
For this first application, that's not gonna be the project that we're going after, but we're able to put in for 2 projects, so that's one of the other ones that we're considering. I have to go back and look at my notes about some of the others. We had a few other places that we wanted to do sidewalk as well, but I agree, I've seen walkers out in that
Oh,
area.
yeah, and people are speeding up when they're going to Route 3, they're speeding up because of the hill,
Yes.
so it makes it really dangerous.
Yeah, we've had, residents ask about that multiple times. People have asked about, maybe doing some on Gilbert Avenue. There is a sidewalk, going in on Gilbert Avenue near the intersection of West Street as part of a development. There's a subdivision that's gonna be constructed at that intersection. So with that, there'll be sidewalk, connecting, Pearl Lane, to Gilbert, and then up Gilbert for, a couple hundred feet along the frontage of that property.
Did you
So that's
say-
a start.
Did you say Glastonbury?
Glastonbury, yes.
That's the one that's right here, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yep, absolutely. So that doesn't get us all the way to the ferry, but it does get us closer.
To Cedar Hollow?
It gets you past Cedar Hollow,
Oh, it does, okay.
which is good for the people
Is it
who live in
on-
Cedar Hollow. They'd be able to come out to Glastonbury Avenue, and they could either walk down to Washington Street, or they'd be able to walk up the hill to Old Main. Which is
Okay.
good. That kind of connects them to, back to Silas Dean. It connects you up
Yeah.
to Old Main, so it's good.
Is it gonna go on the right side or left side?
Depending on what part of Glastonbury Avenue, it does switch. The area between Old Main and Washington, it's going to be on the opposite side of the road from where Cedar Hollow is. But we were gonna add a crosswalk at that location. So
Okay.
there'd be a ramp and then be able to cross the street.
I've seen people biking there too, like with kids and stuff.
Yeah, people want to get to the ferry. I know there's good biking facilities in Glastonbury if you're able to make it across on the ferry. But Glastonbury itself is, Glastonbury Avenue is kind of narrow. And also Meadow Road to get down to the ferry itself is extremely narrow. So having a separate bike facility, even a separate pedestrian facility on Meadow Road is going to be really hard. Just because the buildings are really close to the edge of the road, there's not a lot of right-of-way available. That's a tough connection right there. But we're, if we take it in phases, then maybe perhaps we can get there someday.
Okay.
And then
What about the other 2? And then we'll
very, very
continue
quickly,
to,
because I know we have a guest tonight,
Yeah.
Silas Dean corridor study. We've had 2 public meetings, one here in Rocky Hill and one in Weathersfield. They were both very well attended. We had a lot of people really interested in trying to make Silas Dean corridor safer, and also open it up to multimodal travel, so getting more bikers, getting more walkers, it would be great. I think it's still available if people have an interest in taking a look and making some comments about what things you'd like to see and what things you think are dangerous that we need to take a look at. You can go on the town's website, and if you take a look under the news feed section, you should find information there. If not, you can go to the engineering department section, you should find information there. There is a link to a website maintained by Camp Dresser McKee, which is our consultant that's managing this project. There you can put in any information you think is relevant that we should know about to try to make it as good of a design as possible. What they're going to do is they're going to take all that feedback, they're going to look at crash data, and they're going to come up with some designs and bring them to our communities to take a look at. So we'll have sessions where people can come and take a look at some of the proposals and get some more feedback and see if we can come up with some things that we can actually do to make some changes on the Silas Dean corridor to make it safer.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
And
and
the
then
ferry?
ferry upgrades are underway. They're just getting started now. They're going to be working through the winter, doing some improvements to add some amenities for pedestrians, some new lighting, and some fencing. That work's going to go on through the winter, and it should be all completed on our side as well as Glastonbury by the time the ferry opens in April.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're done with that, so I think we can move on to discussion of new business. CT Rides presentation. Dante, would you like to introduce yourself and start your presentation?
Again, everyone, my name is Dante Spell. Nice to meet you. I am the Outreach and Engagement Specialist for CT Rides. I'm newer into the role, so I've been working with CT Rides for a little over 4 months. But the CT Rides initiative has been going on for, I believe, about 14 years. So this is a program that is administered by, or I should say, we manage the program through Connecticut Department of Transportation. And the goal of CT Rides really is to get people to drive less overall. So, in trying to have a greener future, for Connecticut and helping towns reach those goals, as well as employers. We work hand in hand with municipalities and employers to help implement programs that embrace public transportation, walking, biking, carpooling, vanpooling, so on and so forth. So overall, the goal is to clear up the roads as much as we can and to get people thinking more about sustainability and greener ways to travel, not just to work, even though our sole focus is the commute. It really just ties into people in general in their communities to hop on a bus every now and again, take a train, ride a bike. So we just really try to focus more on that mindset shift when it comes to commuting, period. Now, the way CT Rides works, I wanted to give you guys this just to start. This is just something that gives a little bit more information about what CT Rides is all about. There you go.
We can put this up for viewers to take a look at afterwards.
Yeah, and I'll leave a few more as well. But the CT Rides app is really the connector, as far as showing people what's available to them. So, for instance, through the app, let's say somebody's commuting from Hartford down to Rocky Hill every day. Maybe they don't want to deal with the traffic in the morning. If there are people that commute from Hartford down to Rocky Hill to the town hall building, you can hop a carpool. You can research that through the app so that people can see how that looks. There's vanpool opportunities through Enterprise. But outside of that, there's promotion of biking, walking. Public transportation is really the biggest thing. So CT Transit is probably what we push the most just because it's the most widely available for people to use. So the app in itself is really the connector to all of those things. And what the app also does is it allows you to see your impact environmentally. So it'll show you about carbon emissions, how many miles you save, from not driving your individual car, so on and so forth. So what I do in my role, outside of working with municipalities, I work with mostly larger organizations and companies to help them establish TDM programs and embrace things like public transportation. So, for instance, I work downtown Hartford a lot, where people still drive in and deal with the rigmarole of, doing the commutes, you know, paying for their parking and doing those things. We like to just promote the idea that if you can hop on a bus, you know, make your commute easier. Some people do it on train. It's a separate entity on the train side, so I don't really talk much about it, but a lot of people use CT Rail to get to and from work if they're traveling longer distances. But again, it's really just to try to adjust the mindset. So we really focus a lot on that. And by proxy, you know, if somebody's commuting and they get used to commuting to and from work on a bus or a carpool or whatever the case, it helps them to think outside of the box when it comes to just traveling their community. And that oftentimes promotes economic development and making downtown areas and parks and rec more thriving. So it usually ties into that, but we focus more on the commuting side. So within these organizations, oftentimes we're tabling. If there's certain events that you have, we usually represent ourselves there. Just talk to the community, talk to the employees about what we do, how it ties into them, and then just promoting the app, promoting some of the entities that are available to them. Oftentimes we'll have CT Transit in with us as well, or CT Rail, depending on what we're doing, to really put that extra touch on, you know, what we do. Because for me, I promote, but I don't know the exact routes, you know, that come to these places. I usually do a little bit of research. Like from here, I definitely know there's some buses that come close by where, you know, most of the time employees don't, you know, hop on the bus, but if they did, you know, it's a pretty close walk from the bus stop to here. So really, again, just being that person that engages with the public, and talks to them, has those casual conversations about what it looks like for them. The cool thing about CT Rides is if you have absolutely no idea about how you would even think about getting on the bus, our customer service line, they can call, they'll do a nice itinerary for you to give you the exact steps of what you need to do to get to and from. So that's a powerful tool that we do offer through that. Now, as far as the sustainability CT actions, we deal specifically in the 6.3 to 6.5, so encouraging smart commuting. Again, if you guys are working towards putting forth the action to help people do that, that's when we do the tablings. We do things what we call triad days. A triad day is where we get a group of people that have never taken a bus before. We build that route, you know, depending on where they come from, so that they can hop up in the morning, whether they go to a park and ride, which is a place where you park your car, hop on a bus to work. We'll organize it so that they know exactly what they need to do, hop on the bus, come to work, and they'll be able to experience that. They give you a 10-day, a 10-ride bus pass, I believe, so that they can try it, you know, whenever they want to. And the goal for that, again, is just to get them to get that experience, because if they experience it once and they get comfortable with how to search for a route and connect those dots, maybe that creates a new rider, you know, public transportation. So we do things like that to encourage smart commuting. And then again, the promotion of public transit and other mobility strategies. We try to collaborate with you guys as best we can to say, hey, you know, do you have any events coming up that make sense to us, for us to be there? Do you have opportunities where we can connect with the employees? Like sometimes for some of the organizations I work with, we'll come in for like an orientation. We do the schools as well. So like with the colleges around here, they have what we call a UPass, which they get free use of CT Transit and also CT Rail. So when you have those orientations and things, we'll set up a table, we'll engage with the kids to let them know, hey, you know, this is available to you. It's an included benefit. You don't have to pay anything while you're in school to utilize public transportation. So a lot of students utilize those things. So it really just to promote the availability and the access of what's there, especially in a town like this where it's not so sparse, you know, when it comes to the availability of public transportation. We like to communicate that because some people hate driving, right? Like we just had a snowstorm the other day. I hate driving in snow, you know. So if you can get people to embrace what's available to them, you know, maybe they skip those rough car rides after a snowstorm and hop on a bus because they know what it looks like. So again, we just try to promote that as much as we can. So whatever that looks like for you guys, whatever programs you have, again, biking, carpools, public transportation, walking, anything that promotes sustainability and wellness, that's pretty much what we are focused in. And we just like to connect the dots so that people know more about that. So as you do go through the year, usually what I'll do is I'll connect, if not monthly, maybe quarterly, just to get an idea of what's on the plate. And then we strategize on how we can best support you, you know, in that. If you're having any brain fog about what you can do, we'll definitely be able to collaborate and just brainstorm. See if there's things we can do. I'm working with other towns where we're connecting people to trails. We're connecting people to downtown for economic development, biking. We're doing all of these different things. So more than anything, we're like, hey, in my role, I'm here. My goal is really just to get out into these organizations, companies, and the community to promote as much as we can. And we want to help each town reach all the goals. I know Bristol, I believe, just achieved goal status. So, everybody's really seriously working towards all of these goals. And I'm like, for me, as long as I'm here and as long as I'm, moving forward and helping, I'm sure I'll gather a bunch of ideas to be able to help you guys. But that's CT Rights. And my hope is that maybe in a few months I'll come and do like a formal, presentation where I can show you really all the ins and outs. But I wanted to first and foremost just introduce myself, let you guys know I'm here for support, and I'm glad to jump in wherever I can and help out. And hopefully I'll be able to bring some new ideas to you as you proceed on this journey of being a sustainable Rocky Hill.
Good to know.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Great.
I like the biking idea
Mhm.
because, but then again, that brings to where do we bike, right? Rocky Hills,
Yeah.
That's a small town.
Yep.
But then there's like hiking trails and all that. But then once you start biking, do we have enough sidewalks to bike?
It's a lot.
So
Yeah.
I think if we all work together, there's a lot of potential to make this town like really.
And the cool thing,
'cause-
is that there's other towns that really have that down pat as far as like the biking lanes and the connections to these trails. Bike racks all throughout the city. There's even there's places that have little bike what do you call it, like bike fix it areas.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And we have some.
So all of those things, I'm like, if we can collaborate and connect, I'm sure over time we can at least try to get some of those
Yeah,
initiatives
I
pushed
mean,
forward.
during spring, summertime,
Exactly.
this is something, I think the Department of Engineering Department, we probably all need to work together, right? Because the safety also that's important. So we don't, well, bikes, Sileston Highway is really busy, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's potential, like they're trying to make the downtown more, like pedestrian friendly.
Yes.
So I think bikes would go really well with that if we make some eco-friendly bikes. And another thing I was gonna suggest is like, especially the Glenbrook concierge area, there's a lot of population that work in Hartford. Now that since past COVID, a lot of companies are Aetna, even the city, the state, Hartford, they've become hybrid models. So a lot of people are going 3 days a week
Yep.
to Hartford. And I've heard some, just talking with people, that they prefer, bus would be great, but then there is a bus or two that goes, but then it goes like around, and it's like
Yeah, a bunch of stops.
an hour and a half commute, where it should only take, like, if there is a
Yeah.
bus going directly from Rocky Hill to Hartford, instead of like touring around everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you'll find enough people to fill your bus. Like,
Oh, for
there's
sure.
a lot of people that, and they prefer public, but this is the reason why they don't. There's only a couple of options.
Yeah.
Like 7 and 8 in the morning or something. I just, one time I was just looking up, and then one time I didn't have any options to go to the airport, so I did end up taking the bus coming back from the airport because
Okay.
Uber kept on canceling, and so I was like, let me see what else is available, and it was like during daytime. So I think some of those things you mentioned about the routes and stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm just food for thought.
And again, even like and speaking to that, like the park and rides, I briefly mentioned it. Sometimes we'll have people that come from different areas that don't have great bus access, and they'll go to a park and ride location in New Britain or some other town. And what that enables people to do is, instead of hopping on that bus that goes 60 stops, you can maybe get closer to a fast track bus that has a dedicated lane that goes straight up to Hartford. They go onto some of the streets in Hartford as well. So we have people getting dropped off in front of we call it City Place, where there's a bunch of companies in there like United Healthcare. People are getting dropped off at Travelers. So there's some options to it, but again, it's more about that communication piece, because if you just thinking about it, a lot of people don't know about the park and rides. So it's communicating those types of
But
things.
this also helps the people that don't, say, like, for example, they have to keep the car, or they don't have a car at all.
Exactly.
Then, because there's a lot of, like, there's a lot of students that live in Rocky Hill that commute to Hartford.
Yep, absolutely.
There's also like these, the visa, like H1 type.
Yes.
They're here as a work permit, and then they stay. That's why they're in apartments, because they don't want to buy a house if they have to leave. Right?
Sure.
So,
Sure.
but then they're potentially are getting sponsored from their company or whatnot, and they end up staying for long term. So that, just thinking out loud, that
Yep.
this kind of, that made it think
And,
help.
and these really are the conversations that I have, with workers and things. Usually, as we'll set up like at lunchtime or something just to engage, and you hear those types of stories. People that are working temporarily, people that are driving into the city and hate it, people that come from maybe like a Glastonbury that doesn't have the best public transportation or go to a park and ride and hop into Harvard. So a bunch of different options that are available. It really is a knowledge piece.
I did bus every day for about 15 years from Rocky Hill into Travelers, and it worked out great.
Yeah. Yep.
It actually just brought me down the Silestine Highway, and it went right on the highway. 20 minutes, I was in the Hartford.
Yep.
If you don't have to change buses, it works
That's
out
the
pretty
best.
well. Or if it doesn't go
And
to
I know
around.
there's there was quite a few that went up to Siglier, or it was Glen something.
Glenbrook, yeah.
Yeah,
Glenbrook.
it goes directly there, and it
Right.
goes directly from there into Hartford. So there was, I don't know now, but there was some there.
Mhm.
And I think CT Transit, has some flexibility that as their ridership changes,
Right.
make adjustments to their schedules and
And that's the biggest key.
express buses.
Oh, they
and
do,
things,
okay.
yeah.
'Cause there's
Yeah.
also, like, if you wanna go to Cromwell or, like nearby, there are some elderly folks that don't wanna drive or they're not driving anymore. There's also some of that as well. Cause my neighbor was like, he had a medical condition and he couldn't drive.
Yeah.
So he had to go to Cromwell. So he had to, like, it would take him like an hour and a half to go there, so I just ended up giving him a ride anyway. But these are some of the options, just to,
Yeah.
something to think about.
And then that's
But
it.
that's, the 15 years, huh? That's a long time.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I love it, right?
I loved it. You didn't.
You don't have to
plus
worry about
Travelers
parking.
gave you a discount on the thing, so I think I was, back then I was paying like $35 a month for every day. Back
Cheaper
and
than
forth,
car.
so.
Yeah, and that's really it. Like, again, on the
There's
app, you
some-
talk about how much money you save and all of those things. And speaking about the seniors, we a lot of times we do triad days with some of the community organizations as well. So we worked with the Bristol Senior Center, showed them how to hop on a bus. We took a trip down to the Grand Museum of Art, hop back on, really just trying to get people used to what it looks like. We did another one where they did a shopping day throughout Hartford. So, we just try to get people to embrace it, even outside of organizations and employers.
I can see that being something that Rocky Hill would definitely probably have an interest in doing, setting up one of those days.
Yeah, I think
that'd
that's
be
a great idea.
introduction.
We'll have to look into that a little further.
They come with routes and stuff so that they know, like, this is where it's available.
And what we do is we have our CT Transit rep come on, tell them about that, gives them the paper schedules to show them that. So it really is like an immersive experience, just so that you can get a great idea of like what it looks like. Like I said, most people are just like, I've never done it, so I'm not gonna try it. Because you open up the schedule, it still looks the same as what it would have 15 years ago, with just like all the routes and things. But it can be intimidating, but the app is a good resource.
Great. All right, well, thank you for that great presentation.
Yeah,
on
that's
this.
great.
We really appreciate it. Discussion, new business, B, 25, 26 sustainability projects, discussions.
Yeah, so, one of the things I think I need to do, I think for the next meeting is, I want to reach out to Sustainable CT before that meeting, have a conversation with them, and figure out how to keep our sustainability going.
Yeah.
All right, I want this to be an evergreen process that, that we can keep things moving in a way so that we don't have fits and starts and stops, that, we're bringing ideas and we're letting the council see that we're making progress and offering things up that residents could be interested in.
Right.
I think if we can build that conduit, I really think that we could probably get some more activity going, and I think that's kind of what we were tasked to do. So I think it'd be good to get back to that business. So what I wanted to do was kind of go through our current list of projects that we've completed, figure out what sort of things are timing out by the time our next certification comes around, and then how we can try to keep those projects moving so that the things that we have done in the past can continue, and then adding in new projects that still fits in the template, but can keep things moving, and then looking also for new things that we can adapt in as well, because it doesn't have to be the end all be all of what sustainability is in Rocky Hill. I think it's a great roadmap, but there's certainly more things that we can do, and we have new voices and new faces, coming to our town every year. These are people that we need to hear from. So I think the more that we're out there and we're showing up at these meetings and we're bringing information forward through our chair, I think it makes us more visible, and I think we get more interest in this group, and I think that supports us, it keeps us moving, and we're getting good feedback from the public. I think it'd be good. So
Yeah, great. I've done a little bit of work on that too, just to see what's going to fall off. So no, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. If you have time,
Because,
maybe next week,
yeah,
we
yeah,
could
we
take
can
have a
have-
phone call and kind of get the ball rolling with sustainable CT and figure out
Yeah.
where we are, make sure that we're doing the right thing as we go forward.
Yeah. I did a little homeless thing too, so I'll talk about that next time too.
Can we, I could be part of that conversation if you guys want.
We're going to keep the numbers small only because of the size of our group. When we get more than three voting members together, it becomes a quorum and it's another public meeting. That's fine. I have no problems with that, but it does slow the process down a little bit. Instead, what we can do is work in a smaller group and then bring that back to the body at whole at the next meeting, and that way the minutes get done there. But Bhaskar, to be honest with you, I think we have so many things coming up that I think we're probably going to have to do what we've done in years past, where we start divvying out different tasks to members, and that becomes kind of one task assigned to one person, or a series of tasks that are all interrelated, and kind of have them as the subject matter experts, and they bring information back to the group, so that we can vote and then bring that stuff forward to the council. I think there's going to be a big role for it.
idea.
Oh, yeah.
Contacting the schools if you want to look into something like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
That'll be really good.
You also had expressed an interest in trying to do some more things related to the arts, and I
Yes.
think that also would be a great thing for our task force. That's something I'd like to talk about too, at the next meeting.
Okay, great.
Seeing where the gaps are in that area and how we can maybe address some of those things.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything to say, or Robert, you all said, or? I appreciate your work on getting the minutes.
I just wanted to state that we did accidentally skip one of the items on the agenda. I know we only had a few minutes left, but under number 4, we haven't had our open floor for public comments yet.
Okay.
I thought maybe it'd be good to have that, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. Sorry, I forgot. Open floor to public comments and correspondence.
I know we had Derek Kalin.
Derek
There
was
were
on.
two people that joined, I think, earlier. I don't see them on.
Do we have more than just?
Robert?
No?
Okay, so
Okay.
it's
Maybe
Derek
not.
left.
Derek left.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Derek. But yeah, certainly, if anybody has any information they would like us to bring forward, reach out to us. You can contact me, or you can reach out to any of our members here, and they can bring that information.
Are teams still the same, or has there been any changes?
So we do have a new administration, and I think there has been some new people appointed to some different positions. I haven't heard anything about this task force, so if we go by our status quo, the members that are here are elected to serve until the end of 2026. So there may not be any changes. So until I hear otherwise, I don't have anything to report at the moment, but that's definitely something that Haritha hasn't mentioned it, you haven't mentioned it either. Have you guys heard anything at all? Okay, so we'll keep an eye on council meetings, and I'll stay in touch with our town manager, and if we hear of anything, we'll bring it forward.
Yep, okay. Okay, well, I guess that's about it then. So I guess we're on to number 9, announcement of time and day of next meeting, which I believe is Monday, 1/26/26 at 6:30. Right here. Any comment? Anything, anybody want to bring anything else up, or? Okay. All right, great. So number 10 is adjournment. I move to, can I move it to adjourn? I can't, okay. Will I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay. Second?
I second.
Okay.